Good morning, investors. You are now on KleverStock with me, Anujarya, serving you the latest morning bell updates. Kicking it off with the opening bell updates on our local market. Bursa Malaysia opened marginally higher but retreated thereafter despite the positive overnight performance on Wall Street as investors assessed that there was little progress towards de-escalating the trade war and concerns about the United States government shutdown. At 9:10 a.m., the KleverStock weakened 0.30 of a point to 1,616.53 from Tuesday's close of 1,616.83, after opening 0.73 of a point firmer at 1,617.56. Market breadth was negative, with decliners outpacing gainers 185 to 146, while 291 counters were unchanged to 1,071 untraded and 31 suspended. Turnover stood at 194.92 million shares worth 105.22 million ringgit. Malacca Securities India Berhad said in a research note that Wall Street inched higher ahead of inflation data and the third quarter corporate earnings. It said, "We expect that in view of a mixed Wall Street performance coupled with Malaysia's upcoming ASEAN summit as well as a positive developments from Budget 2026, the KleverStock would trade on a firmer note." Among heavyweights, Maybank edged up 1 cent to 9 ringgit and 91 cent, and IHH Healthcare rose 3 cents to 8 ringgit and 33 cents. Public Bank was 3 cents to 4 ringgit and 24 cent. CIMB was 1 cent weaker at 7 ringgit and 34 cent, while Tenaga Nasional slid 2 cents to 13 ringgit and 22 cent. In active trade, Ace Market debutant Verdant Solar added 7 cents to 38 cents. HHRG and Land and General increased half a cent each to 7.5 cent and 18.5 cent. Lab System and Yong Thai went up 1 cent each to 8.5 cent and 15.5 cent. Top gainers included Nestle, which climbed 1 ringgit and 10 cent to 110 ringgit and 60 cent. Hong Leong Industries was 10 cent firmer at 13 ringgit and 78 cent. 99 Speedmart and LPI Capital added 8 cents each to 3 ringgit and 38 cents and 14 ringgit and 30 cents, while Malayan Cement gained 7 cents to 6 ringgit and 64 cents. Among the top losers, Malaysian Pacific fell 28 cents to 29 ringgit and 56 cent. Fraser and Neve slipped 18 cents to 27 ringgit and 96 cent. UMS decreased 9 cents to 1 ringgit and 90 cent, while SolarVest and Tomei shed 7 cents each to 3 ringgit and 10 cents and 1 ringgit and 91 cent. Moving on to local currency updates. According to an analyst, the ringgit opened slightly higher against US dollar on Wednesday today amid the US government shutdown and uncertainty over the meeting between US President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping next week. At 8:02 a.m., the local note inched up to 4.2235 or 4.2345 against the greenback from 4.2280 or 4.2315 at Tuesday's close. Bank Muamalat Malaysia Berhad Chief Economist Dr. Muhammad Afzal Abdul Rashid said the US government shutdown has gone into its third week with no concrete signs the impasse will be resolved soon. He said the latest indication from Trump on his meeting with Xi Jinping next week remains uncertain, suggesting the trade tension is likely to be persistent. The lack of US data due to the government shutdown has resulted in greater degree of economic uncertainties. On that note, he expected the ringgit to trade cautiously, with dollar ringgit expected to range between 4 ringgit and 22 cents and 4 ringgit and 23 cents today. At the opening, the ringgit traded higher against major currencies and ASEAN currencies. It advanced against the British pound to 5.6447 or 5.6594, strengthened against euro to 4.8993 or 4.9120, and gained against Japanese yen to 2.7817 or 2.7892. Against its ASEAN peers, the ringgit appreciated against the Singapore dollar at 3.2523 or 3.2613 and improved versus the Thai baht to 12.8413 or 12.8806. It was marginally higher against the Indonesian rupiah to 254.6 or 255.4 and rose against the Philippine peso at 7.25 or 7.27. Continuing with another economic update. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said Malaysia intends to reinforce ASEAN's central role in ensuring that the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership RCEP translates into tangible benefits for small and medium enterprises, SMEs, workers and communities. Anwar said the success of the 5th RCEP leaders meeting next week will hinge on ASEAN's ability to transform commitments into real economic opportunities, especially for local businesses. He said, as we prepare to host the 5th RCEP leaders meeting later this month, Malaysia intends to reinforce ASEAN's central role in guiding its implementation. We want RCEP to serve not just the interests of large multinational operations, but also to deliver concrete benefits to our SMEs, workers and communities. Anwar said, the world's largest trade pact, which encompasses nearly one-third of global gross domestic product and trade, stands as a strategic affirmation that open regionalism remains ASEAN's pathway to shared prosperity. He added, in a world increasingly defined by rivalries, RCEP offers an alternative vision, one of mutual respect, shared growth and genuine partnership. It is proof that collaboration, not confrontation, can still guide our collective destiny. Anwar said ASEAN's economic cooperation must now focus on addressing non-tariff barriers, enhancing trade facilitation and integrating emerging sectors such as the digital economy, the green transition and services. He said the bloc's continued openness and unity are vital as trade tensions, tariffs and restrictions reshape global supply chains. The region, he said, has grown into a vital link in the global manufacturing network and is projected to become the world's 4th largest economy within 5 years. He said Malaysia's aspiration is clear. We aim to strengthen our role as a trusted investment hub while ensuring that local enterprises and startups are not left behind. He said the government's ongoing support for SMEs through expanded guarantees and financing facilities will help them innovate and digitalize. He also called for a renewed global commitment to fairness and results over rigid trade rules, saying voluntary and flexible facilitation protocols that produce tangible outcomes and genuine trust. Moving on to corporate news update. Malayan Banking Berhad, or Maybank, is prepared to absorb the cost of relocating its headquarters to Menara Merdeka 118, one of the country's priciest office addresses, which command rates up to 12 ringgit and 50 cents per square foot. Group President and Chief Executive Officer Datuk Khairul Saleh Ramli said the move represents a long-term investment in sustainability and brand prestige rather than a simple financial trade-off. He said that while the bank will begin paying rent at the new tower, the cost will be offset by rental income from its existing headquarters on Jalan Tun Perak, which will be leased out under a master tenancy with parent Permodalan Nasional Berhad PNB. He said, of course, we have to pay rental, and then the current building, we will get rental as well. I think whatever it is, you have to look at a bigger picture than just cost. It also about why we also moved there. Khairul Saleh said the decision to move to Merdeka 118 was driven by the building's green and sustainable design credentials. He said it is a prestigious building, it is a green platinum building that very much aligns with our principles of sustainability in terms of our relationship with sustainability. Khairul Saleh clarified that PNB, which owns Merdeka 118, will be the master lease of the bank's current premises. He said, yes, we still own the building, but under the agreement that we entered with them, they will become the master lease for the existing building, adding that PNB would be responsible for finding new tenants. Khairul Saleh also dismissed speculation that Maybank planned to demolish its current headquarters. Maybank is expected to complete its relocation to Merdeka 118 by the middle of next year. Checks on Property portals show that the office spaces at Menara Merdeka 118 are listed between 10 ringgit and 50 cents and 12 ringgit and 50 cents per square foot. Maybank first announced its relocation to Menara Merdeka 118 in September 2022, following the signing of a tenancy agreement with PNB. The agreement covers an initial lease term of 3 years with the option to renew for 6 additional terms of 3 years each, amounting to a total potential lease period of 21 years in the world's second tallest and Southeast Asia's tallest building. As the anchor tenant of Menara Merdeka 118, Maybank has been granted naming and signage rights for the tower. The bank will occupy 33 floors, accommodating around 5,900 employees with a dedicated entrance provided to ensure convenient access for its staff, customers and visitors. And finally, wrapping up, we have major corporate developments and deals across Malaysia. Solar West Holdings Berhad plans to raise up to 254.1 million ringgit through a 10% private placement to fund solar PV projects, working capital and loan repayments. HSS Engineers Berhad subsidiary SM01 has signed a new enhanced dispatch connection agreement with TNB to connect its 29.99 MWAC solar PV project to the national grid. Magna Prima Berhad's independent advisor concluded that the conditional mandatory takeover launched by Halson Holdings Sdn Berhad is not fair but reasonable and has recommended that the shareholders accept the offer of 73 cents per share. Yong Thai Berhad said the High Court has set aside an adjudication decision that ordered its subsidiary to pay 35.5 million ringgit to a unit of Kerjaya Prospect Group Berhad over an alleged unpaid contract for the Apple Mixed Development Project in Melaka. And last but not least, Ventris Energy Berhad, formerly known as Sapura Energy Berhad, said its joint venture company Rawabi Sapura Ltd CO secured a contract to provide diving support services in Saudi Arabia. Now that's a wrap for Morning Bell Updates with me, Anujarya, on KleverStock. Thank you for choosing us, investors. Stay tuned for the next live coming soon.